video recording, audio recording. What's up, people? It's the Cycleshack. We are back. I'm Ivan Rodriguez, your host. Thanks for joining me. Today is Thursday, 9:43 p.m., May 10th, 2018. Thanks again for joining me, man. And as you can see right now, we got a little studio cam that we're running a feed in the studio. Nothing fancy, man. This is just meant to get another platform out there for those to listen to the show. Some people ask, is the show available on YouTube? I go, well, no. So well, why not? I can listen to it on YouTube when I'm doing something, playing in the background. So here it is. It's on YouTube. But again, it's just another platform for me to get out there. Nothing visual going on. Nothing crazy. You're just going to see me in the studio flapping my gums. Nothing here to see. Nothing here to see. Let's move it along. But thanks for joining anyway. I appreciate it, man. And if you like the show, just hit the subscribe button on YouTube so you can get alerted every time there's a new show. The Cycleshack Podcast at right there, gmail.com. That's the email, Cycleshack at gmail.com. Send me info, pictures, whatever you want. Check me out on Facebook at the Cycleshack Podcast. And that's where we're available on. That logo is going to change. I created a new logo. Why? Because I just have to show my gratitude. And my gratitude is to Anchor.fm. That's who the show's brought to you by, Anchor.fm. If you haven't downloaded Anchor.fm, what are you waiting for? Download Anchor.fm, subscribe to it, subscribe to your favorite podcast, or create a podcast of your own. It's that simple. It's available everywhere. Go to iTunes, download it on your phone. You can do a podcast right from your phone. You can sign up, do a podcast, sit there, put the phone down, flap at the jaws. You can put your iPhone headphones on them with a little microphone. And as you drive, you could just talk and jabber, flap your gums, and do a podcast and throw it on the air right from your phone. It's that simple. It's that easy. These people are great. I don't know how they're doing it. They're based out of New York, these guys, but they're amazing. And this is the reason why I continued with the podcast, because I gave up with the podcast. I gave up on the podcast for a little bit. It cost some money to put this stuff out there, and I just wasn't feeling it at the time. I had other priorities, so I was backing down a little bit. Plus, it's kind of hard to come up with material and put out a good product for you guys to listen to, man. Sometimes people just get tired of listening to, a guy just flapping his gums about motorcycles and all that. But again, the show mantra is motorcycles and more. I'll talk about whatever I feel like it, and so Anchor.fm came out. I started doing some research, and I'm like, man, it's that simple, huh? So I signed up, did what I had to do, followed through, and sure enough, man, I was doing it from my phone and putting them out there. I actually got to do a commercial for them as well. Got in contact with one of them, did a quick commercial spot for them, and it was cool, man. And you know what? They started growing. They were fairly new, and like, man, overnight they grew. They threw my podcasts from. It was pulled off iTunes or Apple Podcasts, whatever they call themselves now. But only because I had to. It started getting a little costly paying for a host site, which was Podbean. But I'm not bashing them at all. Great service. I just at the time, again, other priorities. So here came Anchor.fm. I think at first when they started, I was able to only do 5 minutes at a clip, which was kind of hard. Then all of a sudden they set it up where you can do it only. You had to do it only from the phone. So I was like, all right, if I really want to do a podcast, I'm going to have to get something that can connect to the phone, a good microphone, something like this, whatever. I said, all right, there we go, spending money out of pocket again right now. All right. Then all of a sudden they went to their site, so you can record a podcast off their site with a USB mic. I'm like, wow, cool. No problem. I could set something up like that. It just started evolving and evolving. I mean, this thing grew overnight. And they also had this feature where my podcast started, I guess, they saw some ratings. Took off a little bit, So they just kept sending me emails. Hey, we're putting your podcast on Pocket Cast. We're putting your podcast on Google Play. Congratulations. You're now on Overcast. I'm like, wow. So they're throwing it on every platform, and then I get the email, bam, you're back on Apple Podcasts, on iTunes, whatever you want to call it. And you know what? So the logo that you see right there in the corner of the screen, that's coming down. That's being changed. It's similar logo, but it's going to be the Cycleshack Podcast, brought to you by Anchor.fm. Again, great site, Great product, great people. Read up on them. It was a couple of young guys that came up with this, in their, I think, one bed studio apartment in Manhattan somewhere, and it's taken off, man. Just read their story. It's incredible. Go to Anchor FM and check it out. And if you want to listen to the show on Anchor.fm as well, you go to Anchor.fm/the Cycleshack podcast, and away you go. All the episodes are posted online, and it's the same thing. It's like YouTube for podcasts. You'll be able to hear the audio on there. So again, the purpose of me throwing the camera in the studio, again, is just to get another platform out there. Now available on YouTube, guys. So on YouTube, you hit subscribe, and every time I come out with a show, it'll be on YouTube, and you'll be able to hear it on YouTube as well. Hey, it works for some people. It is what it is. I'm trying to please everybody. Again, I can't be thankful enough to Anchor.fm. Great product, great. And you know what's important too? That every time I sent these people an email, they would reply to me the same day, even if it was on a Sunday. They replied to me immediately, and I loved it. So, I stood with it. I'm sticking with it. It is, right now, I'm available on all these platforms, guys, and I really do appreciate it. So, the show is brought to you by Anchor.fm. If you haven't downloaded it, what are you waiting for? Why do anything else? That's going to be the thing. Anchor.fm. Why go anywhere else, right? Okay. So, the show today, nothing crazy. It's going to be quick, going to be fast, going to be easy. I know I always say that. I wind up flapping at the jaws. But, so, again, as you can tell, aside from YouTube, I was trying it on Facebook for a little bit. Once in a while, maybe I'll put out a Facebook Live show, or maybe once in a while I'll just take this show and just broadcast it over Facebook. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. There's going to be no editing of the show. That's one thing I pride myself on. It's a podcast. I don't edit anything. What you see, what you hear is what you got. What you see here, you see all the wires. I got audio recording. Got my system here to tune everything up, the audio, the microphone, everything's linked up to a computer. So I'm recording audio and video via computer or an audio via recording device. So no editing. I don't want to sit there editing a show. I barely have time to record a show, let alone spend hours editing pieces just for today. You know what it is. To me, that's not a podcast. I'm not a professional production. I'm an amateur. Call me what you want. But the bottom line is that I'm going to put it out how it is, and it is what it is. So I might throw it on Facebook once in a while. I have the capability of doing Facebook Live, which is great. I tested it. It works fine. It works flawless, and I'm happy about that. But, it's not really what I want to do. I may do it once in a while. So, yeah, once in a blue will come out on Facebook Live. And, again, the YouTube concept is only for people who just, again, I've been asked, well, why not put the show on YouTube? It'd be great if we could listen to it on YouTube. I could be at work typing and just flick it on and keep it in the background, and I can listen to it in XYZ. Perfect. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. The one thing I did experience with YouTube is that no matter what I talk about as the show progresses, people are going to be so critical of what I say, and that's one thing. YouTube is merciless, I had so many comments and so much feedback when I first came out. I used to do the show only via YouTube, and I had my son do all the editing and stuff like that for me because he was good with it. But man, the stuff I used to talk about, from bike tips and lubricating and lubrication types of oil, people would slam a lot of stuff on there. So hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Opinions are opinions. I'll accept all of them, and that's what it's here for. We're here to open up a dialogue and talk about different things in the motorcycle realm. And nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not an expert by far. So that's one thing I will not claim. I am not an expert. I'll just pass information along that I've heard, tried. Whether it worked or not, you're going to hear it right here from me. So moving along. Fast Harleys only. FHO. I mentioned these people last year. This dude last year, Big Cell, the FHO CEO, HNIC, the way he likes to call himself. Marcel Tillman, a.k.a. Big Cell, and Gaddafi Entertainment, or Gaddafi Entertainment. They are hosting another motorcycle race this year. It's going to be at the, man, I wish I could go to this, man. It's at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at the Keystone Raceway, 538 Stone Jug Road, New Alexandria, PA 15670. It's going to be on Sunday, June 10th. Pittsburgh, PA. There's going to be a custom motorcycle show, bagger show, all types of custom motorcycles, bagger audio competitions with $1,000 cash prize. Guest judge Billy Steele from Steele Customs. The fastest baggers in the world. A drag race with the fastest baggers in the country. Just they advertise world here, but I doubt it's the world, man. Come on. Meet and greet special guest Joey Hensley from Backyard Baggers. So for more information, you can dial 412-512-2339. You can call either Gaddafi or Rob at 412-512-2339. Again, this is brought to you by Big Cell, Fast Harleys Only, Gaddafi Entertainment, and a couple of other sponsors there. But again, they did this last year, man. And you go to YouTube, type in FHO or Pittsburgh Gentlemen. These races are dynamite, man. Bagger motorcycles, gas, no alcohol, no nitro, it's just straight up gas. I think they do have some nitrous, some of them, but you gotta check it out, man. It's some good stuff. If you like Harley racing, this is the place to be. And not for nothing, this isn't it's not really a pro circuit, man. This is sponsored by clubs. You know what I mean? This is what these guys do. You got the Pittsburgh Gentlemen. You got a couple of clubs that come from across the country and meet at one place in one state. You know, last year it was in, I think, was it in Atlanta, Georgia? I think it was in Atlanta. But anyway, you know, it's in a different spot of the country. I think one year it can be in Texas, another year it can be in Arizona. I think last year it was in Atlanta, Georgia, and now they're hosting it in the Pittsburgh Gentlemen's backyard in the Keystone Raceway in Pittsburgh, PA. So these are MCs that are, you know, doing it, man. They're putting their money where their mouth is, and they're keeping the peace. They're spreading the love, and then what they do is hey, your bike against mine. What's up? Let's hit the track, and that's what they do, man. These guys spend big money on their bikes, and it's all about, you know, you got the trash talk and you got everything, but at the end of the day, they don't throw up the fists. They throttle it, baby, down the racetrack. It's all about brotherhood, camaraderie, fun time, hooking up your bike. They share tips and tricks with each other. They don't give away all their secrets, but go to YouTube, man. Check out these guys. Go to FHO. That'd be the best place to go, and then you hit the links from there. You see what these guys are all about, man. They do some amazing things with these motorcycles, street glides, road glides. You know, again, you see them working on it. The engines they put on these things are crazy. So check it out, man. That's Sunday, June 10th, Pittsburgh, PA. I wish I could go, man, but that ain't gonna happen. So, yeah. So today's quick topic of the show, and there's gonna be more. It's about charities. There's going to be more along the lines of charities, but, you know, there's different genres of charities. So I decided to start out with one group of charities that, you know, I could have started out with children's charities. There's a lot of those. That'll be for another show. No disrespect intended to that, but there's a ton of children's charities that Motorcyclists hosts. But we'll get into that again for another show. Again, this is what I just did first, so no particular reason. Our veterans, okay? What does that have to do with motorcycles? Well, the history of a lot of motorcycle clubs is that when military veterans came from overseas fighting wars, you know, Korea, Vietnam, you know, the camaraderie, the brotherhood that they all shared, the sense of honor, the rank, you know, they wanted that. You know, they came back and they were fighting machines. You know, they were defending our country. They needed that sense of brotherhood and camaraderie. So that's how the motorcycle clubs, you know, were born. So the military and motorcycle clubs go hand in hand. And a lot of motorcycle clubs do, aside from children's charities, of course, that's first and foremost, but they do help their fellow veterans, and they raise money for veteran charities. And these are just a few veteran charities you can help donate to, or organize a ride to help donate to or support, etc. Again, we'll be on this hosting. I'll be hosting some shows on other charities and information about charities. But right now, we're doing veteran charities. So these are just a couple of charities that I just did some quick research on, and just to give you some information on what's out there, and you decide. There's plenty more.